we're about is trying to enable local communities to develop their own resilience, their own ability to look after themselves, to generate their own electricity, be less reliant on international food systems, less reliant on transport, localising our food, being less dependent on imported and long travelling food. We've been going for about 3 or so years. We're part of the national and international transition town movement, which is about preparing communities or working in communities to prepare for the transition that we're going to have to make to a different kind of world. A different kind of world with less fossil fuel energy, which we're hugely dependent on at the moment. I'm Trevor from Ealing Transition, and this is our edible garden. This is right next to the orchard that is back there. And when we were planting the orchard with the help of Ealing Rangers, we noticed this flower bed that hasn't actually been planted with anything except weeds for years, and so we asked if we could have the chance of using it. So it isn't just that we're growing food, we're growing something bigger. We're growing a community in order to make the transition, as we see it, from a more individualistic, atomised society dependent on a big industrial machine to a more local, community-supported way of living. We're going to be left dependent on a whole system that depends on oil, and oil isn't going to be there to help us. So we have to begin to think about how we look after ourselves more and make that transition from an oil-based economy to a more localised economy.
This is the Ealing Transition Community Orchard, and we planted it about a year ago. This area used to be a great big old tennis court, so if you dig down about 2 or 3 inches here, you'll hit asphalt. And that was one of the reasons why we thought it would be really nice to have an orchard here, which is that it's essentially ground that you can't really do anything with, you can't really plant anything. So if you dig through the asphalt and stick trees in, then it's really good productive use of the space. We planted it a year ago, and we've involved the whole of the local community in the planting. So most of these trees have been adopted in some way, shape or form. They'll water them occasionally and they'll grow up with them. So in the future they'll be able to come and plant and they'll be able to come and pick their own apples, which will be very nice. Ealing's got a very strong history of food production, so it's nice to bring some of that back into the area. A lot of Ealing used to be orchards many, many years ago.
What are you going to plant?
Peas.
Peas, yeah? Okay. These ones, do you know? Yep.
I thought maybe that tree could become a tree house.
I was drawing a tree house with stepping stones and stuff. And then that's a teepee, and then there's a tunnel leading to a wooden table.
A rope attaching onto wooden pieces where you could climb up to the tree house.
Yeah, the idea of today is just the first step of engaging with the community really, and to share with them the ideas and discussions that Ealing Transition have been having, and then bringing us involved. The main reason for today is just to, as you said, just to get people into the space and get them excited and get them engaging with what is already happening to try and build up a relationship with themselves, with Ealing Transitions, but also for them to build a relationship with the space. So we've got the seed planting here today, so they'll plant the seed, take it home, nurture it, watch it grow, to then be brought back here for the plant to flourish into something, and then we can get our vegetables from it.
Poke it down a little
Oh, so take this home or something?
Yeah, you take it home and grow it.
Into the Thames water drains.
This evening is a joint event run by ourselves and Joju Solar. And John here is actually going to be doing most of the talking tonight, telling you all about what you've come here to find out about solar electricity and what the recent changes have been and how they're likely to impact on you.
Houses in the UK are very old and drafty and really need renovating, so I'd like to be part of that, or the company would certainly like to be part of that process. What we've seen in the UK now, since the energy efficiency measures have come in, there's been a 97% drop in solar installations in the UK. This is about 6 square metres, and that will get you about a kilowatt. So if you can get a metre by 6 metres, or 1.6 metres by 6 metres, these are 1.6 metres long, they're a metre wide. This is a typical London value. Your house will continue to work as it normally does, basically. You carry on using energy. Okay, well. Joju has been in business for 5 years now. She sounds quite young, it is quite young, but it's quite old for solar companies in the UK. It's quite a new industry, so we were the first to be MCS accredited in London and the third to be accredited in the UK, so pretty old for a solar company, in the UK anyway.
Is there a sort of prescribed list? Because actually I was thinking that what I really need in my house is actually carpets in my front room, where I've just got flooring at the moment and there's a huge draft coming through, and I was wondering if I could get some funding for that, you know, because that's helping to insulate the property, isn't it?
You can definitely get money for draft proofing,
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah. We're all very green, I think, so we all believe in what we do, and I think that is vitally important. The website address is www.joju.co.uk. It's Joju for Joju. Thank you very much, guys. Nice one.
My name's Glendra Reid, and I've worked with Ealing Transition for about 2 years now. And then we had oversight that this would come up to be rented and managed, and I took over the management of the plot about a year ago, of the whole site actually. Three and 4 belong to Ealing Transition, and we work those as communal plots where we meet every week. Just anybody can drop in. And I think having the transition plots here is good, because that's kind of a catalyst for the sharing mentality, if you like, and the swapping of ideas. It's relatively easy for me to keep on top of this. I know everybody, and everybody knows me. Somebody rang me beginning of the week and said, I think the bees are swarming, so you have to tell somebody else, or somebody else says there's a leak in the pipe, so then I refer that to the council, because really I sub-manage it for the council.
This is something we built last year, and it's a clay oven, so it's a very simple design. It's made with clay that I dug from about 2 foot under my garden, and we used it for our reskilling day. And that's the main reason why we built it, not just to show people how you could build with clay, but also we were making pizzas, and that's what we did in there. Well, I think that might, if we put a cheese on that, so the base looks like it's actually probably done, isn't it? It's taking a little bit of time.
That. I'll probably get it on, but I don't know what it's going to...
I like the bits of charcoal as well.
It's to make sure you know it's genuine. It's not the sort of heat you get in your oven at home. It's a very, very hot, intense radiated heat, so it makes really good crispy pizza.
It's brilliant. Thank you.
Looks good. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. Just bring this over.
If you go into a supermarket and you do a comparison between organic food and non-organic food, it can be quite expensive. Not always. Some things there's a much greater price difference. But the idea with this scheme is we're offering organic food at really low prices compared to what you pay in the supermarket. So we're making it more accessible to more people.
But if you have like a middle and you go and you pre-weigh your food, in my mind it means that it's on a big table already. Like you go 500
well, I think
grams of potatoes, 500 grams of potatoes.
the whole group is a very interesting concept, really, and I got involved in it because food is a passion of mine. It's actually my job now to produce food for farmers markets.
Is because you leave all your fruit and vegetables in boxes until you pack your boxes, so you don't need an extra space for a meal. That's the only reason I can think.
In terms of what we've achieved and what we've done in the last year, we've taken the idea, the seed of making a box scheme to become a reality. So we're on the sort of point now where we're just about to launch it, and that for me has been the most exciting part of the process. It hasn't been one particular thing, it's been the whole journey.
Really, it's just to inspire the community to get behind something. So it's a way to help the local community, but the way the local community can help themselves.
So you have people at different stations where the box starts here and it goes the full length of the table, and as it goes along it gets all the items that it has. It ends up over there and they're in alphabetical order as they come through, so you don't have to do that later.
Transition has come up with some very innovative ideas about localising people's way of living, if you like, their whole way of living. So it's not just about food, it's about how you live, who you socialise with, the kind of groups that you're in, helping each other, making things. You know, it's going back to basics, but in a really fun way.
Great, so welcome everyone. We have 2 members who will be joining us in a bit.